I became the Time Life correspondent in Puerto Rico in the late 50s and wound up managing editor of a new newspaper there. That was the San Juan Star, which published its first edition November 2nd, 1959.
So what brought you, the both of you, down to Puerto Rico?
I was there before he was.
I went to get vengeance on him.
He applied for a job on the San Juan Star, which I was the managing editor of at the time, and we had he wrote a letter to our editor-publisher, whose name was Bill Dervillier, and
it was a new English language paper.
Yeah.
In San Juan.
And we had an ad in it for a sports editor, and he had been a sports editor, so he responded. And dear sir, I hear you need a sports editor. If true, perhaps we can work something out. The job interests me for two reasons: the Caribbean location and the fact that it's a new paper. Salary would be entirely secondary, as it definitely would not be here in our great Rotarian democracy. My minimum, if I thought I could afford it, would be somewhere around $400 a month. I wouldn't want to set a figure, though, until I found out more about you and the actual conditions of the job. There are some jobs I wouldn't do for $2,000 a month, and others I'd be happy to do for $200. So let's leave salary for later, shall we? I speak no Spanish, tolerable French, but would have little trouble picking it up. As for the quality of my work, I'd either be the best or the worst sports editor you could get. I'd make great demands on the photographers, insist on laying out my own pages, write a column that might make some readers strain their intellects, and generally make every effort to produce what I considered the perfect sports section. If you're looking for an easygoing hack, then I'm not your man. At the moment, I'm unemployed and will continue to be until I locate a worthwhile job. Having been a sports writer, sports editor, editorial trainee, and reporter in that order, I've given up on American journalism. The decline of the American press has long been obvious, and my time is too valuable to waste in an effort to supply the man in the street with his daily quota of cliches, gossip, and erotic tripe. There is another concept of journalism which you may or may not be familiar with. It's engraved on a bronze plaque on the southeast corner of the Times Tower in New York City. In this letter, the clippings and resume, you should have all you need to know about who I am. If you're interested in me, then I'd like to know something about you, the paper, and the sports editor's job. Right now, though, I must get back to my novel. By the time you get this letter, the first section of the book will be at the Viking Press in New York. By the time the paper starts in November, the book will be finished. After that, who knows? And whatever you decide, please return my clippings. Thanks, Hunter S. Thompson.
Let me ask you something now. At what point in that letter did you decide that I was not your man?
I'll read you my response.
Well, okay, but I'm just curious as to where.
I don't remember.
That may be all
exactly
in the beginning.
Dear Mr. Thompson, after giving careful consideration to your application, we've decided that for several reasons you would not be happy with us. First, our publisher is a member of Rotary. Second, your literary accomplishments.
That's where
Your literary accomplishments would not really single you out as offbeat, since three of our staff members have also finished novels and one is a playwright. Third, our policy will probably be aimed at the man in the street, since that encompasses all but shut-ins and hermits, and there are not enough shut-ins and hermits in Puerto Rico to build the circulation we're aiming at. We feel you had best return to your novel, perhaps even start another. You could build a plot around that bronze plaque on the Times Tower. You should always write about something you know intimately. Too bad we couldn't get together. Lots of people go shoeless down here. You would have liked it. William J. Kennedy, managing editor. Oh, as I gather, you told me later that you got my letter in the same mail that with a rejection from the novel from the Viking Press.
Yeah. Same mail. It was a bad day.
So you sat down and wrote the letter immediately.
Yeah, it's all in lowercase, you know.
Yeah.
Your letter was cute, my friend, and your interpretation of my letter was beautifully typical of the cretin intellect responsible for the dry rot of the American press. But don't think that lack of an invitation from you will keep me from getting down that way. And when I do, remind me to first kick your teeth in, and then jam a bronze plaque far into your small intestine. Give my best to your literary, in quotes, staff and your Rotarian publisher. If they're half as cute as you are, your paper will be a whopping success. I think also that I need not point out the folly of your keeping my application on file. Cheers, Hunter S. Thompson.
Yeah.
That's a running start for a good friendship.